How's it going, guys? And welcome back to BL3's Forgotten, the series where I take a look at underused and not often talked about pieces of gear to determine whether or not they deserve to be remembered within the modern meta of the game or should be left behind and forgotten. And today we are taking a look at the Garcia. If you'd like to farm the Garcia for yourself, you're going to fast travel over to the Anvil on Eden 6, turning your ass around and immediately heading back out towards Floodmore Basin. Upon loading in, take an immediate right where you can hit a save station, following along into this little swampy section full of dinosaurs, and carrying on along this path until you hit Chonk Stomp. Kill him, and he can drop you the Garcia. The Garcia is a legendary Jakobs shotgun, able to roll with 12 or 16 projectiles, but either only costs 2 ammo per shot. The Garcia fires in a 2-round semi-auto burst before you have to pump the gun. However, this is not a reload, far from it, as the Garcia's unique effect is that it has a massive drum mag at a base of 20. The Garcia has received a lot of changes. Initially, the Garcia would receive 43% fire rate and an increase to its projectile count. Then got a bug fix for multiplayer, but we'll ignore that, with the next buff being a 100% weapon damage increase. Now, worth noting, while it wasn't actually listed here, at this point, the Garcia was fully semi-automatic, meaning it didn't have that pump between 2-shot bursting it, and you could just spam the trigger for all 20 of these shots, and it was a little bit crazy. At some point between this and the next buff, the Garcia would become that semi-auto burst. I believe that this was stated to actually have been a bug and not a intentional change to the Garcia, but they must have had some issue with fixing it or just liked how it was, as later on it would receive a compensation buff, gaining another 50% weapon damage increase and a 115% fire rate buff. Oh, the Garcia, this one has been a long time coming. I talk about this thing all the time on stream. I fucking love this done. But first off, starting out here, worth noting, times 16 is just always better than the times 12. Times 12 is still a great option and is more than usable, but with both being the same ammo cost per shot, times 16 is just always preferred as you're getting more projectiles for absolutely free. But this gun overall just holds up incredibly well across all the content in the game, even well into True Guardian Takedown. This is absolutely 100% without a doubt an S tier weapon, and for sure is up there in the meta. But with that being said, and I'm sure you looking at the background footage, if you've never personally used or seen this gun used, you might be confused, because this gun is fucking insane, right? Again, easy S tier, works on all content, pops motherfuckers like it's busting a nut on December 1st, and is great on all the characters while being pretty plug and play on each of them. So why the fuck is this done in the series? Well, there's actually 2 main reasons for this. The first is that this gun, as I mentioned earlier, when initially buffed, was fully semi-automatic rather than having the semi-auto burst that it has now. Again, as I mentioned, I'm pretty sure I remember hearing that this was not an intentional change and that Gearbox couldn't properly fix it, and I believe that's where the last buff came in as that compensation for the bug. This left a lot of people uninterested, as either they just didn't like the feel of the burst or missed that final buff, as if I remember correctly, that compensation buff came months after it became the burst fire. The other reason is... That's right, ladies and gents, it makes the Borderlands 3 subreddit unusable is the reason my dad left, telepathically communicates with me to demand I throw rocks off of overpasses. It's the Hellwalker. Anytime I see the Garcia get brought up, often the Hellwalker gets mentioned as a way to shut it down. It seems almost anyone that knows that these 2 guns exist thinks the Hellwalker is better. But me? No. I'm well hydrated and ready to fucking glaze this bitch. I'm subbed to the OnlyFans, the Patreon, and the Fansly, baby. I'm straight zooted off that gargantuan giga gooch stank Garcia pack, and I'm here to show that ain't the fucking case. But just for a second though, let's assume that it is. I mean, it has a higher base damage. Hellwalker at 47k per pellet at 10 pellets for a total of 476,540 base damage while being elemental. The Garcia with 22k at 16 pellets for a total of 354,688 is respectable, but non-elemental. And I mean, looking at these numbers, this just doesn't even compare, right? Sure, if you ignore one of the most basic fundamentals of weapon parts in Borderlands games, bigger mag equals less damage. That's just a core point of the balancing. So with a difference in damage of only 121,852, I think the plus 18 mag size is more than worth it. Of course, that does also come at the cost of losing its element, but still, I think that's more than a worthwhile trade for these weapons to peacefully coexist. But fuck it, we're taking reasonable Ravnica out back and popping him between the fucking eyes because fuck you, Garcia comes out on top in practice, at least most of the time, but let's first just compare the 2 at base. So again, with the Hellwalker, 476 66,540. This is only its base damage, but effectively it's also its DPS as well, since the reload time is exactly 1 second and you only get 1 shot per mag. The Garcia has a base damage of 354,688, but you can double tap it. The max fire rate of that double tap is 4.3 per second, which means if you click fast enough, that is 1,525,158 damage per burst, coming out in 4.2 milliseconds, though let's just say 10 milliseconds since it would be hard to consistently click that fast. With about a 1 second delay between the bursts, that means the Garcia is dumping 1.5 million damage in 1 second and 10 milliseconds for about 1,307,278 DPS, almost 3 times more than the Hellwalker and more than enough to overcome the elemental bonus. Who comes out on top now, huh? As I said though, this kinda does come with an exception. This is just with the base stats and assumes that you need to reload the Hellwalker after each shot, and of course excluding any reload speed bonuses. With enough mag size, you can get another shot out of the Hellwalker before reloading, bringing the Hellwalker more in line with a 950k base DPS, which if you're getting that elemental damage bonus, is definitely very comparable, and likely going to be better against any flesh health bars. But the Garcia also has ways to bring it up. Reload speed, of course, still being very nice, mag size being far more effective on it, and burst delay increasing the DPS drastically. But generally, if you don't have enough mag size for 2 shots out of the Hellwalker mag, the Garcia outperforms easily. And even if you do, the Garcia still has enough unique to it that, as I said earlier, the two can just easily coexist. The overall point here is, though, these guns have wildly different niches. Both have situations where they can be preferable over each other, and both are incredibly good options. I know most of this video has been just comparing these two guns, but this is the sort of shit in this community that artificially compresses the meta and dissuades experimentation. Exactly what this series aims to go against. And genuinely, there's kind of just not much more to say about the Garcia other than comparing it to the Hellwalker and making this entire video a glorified bitch post, let's be honest. The Garcia is just a simple and incredibly effective weapon. Again, easily holding up across all the content in the game. Honestly, even strong enough to just carry you through most of it. The only reason it's not more popular is because of an unfortunate cycle of buffs and bugs, and the existence of the more popular gun, the Hellwalker. But that's gonna about do it for this one. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, definitely consider leaving a like, comment, subscribe, all of that. Down in the description will be a link to my Twitch channel where you can follow to be notified of when I go live, and just under that is a link to my Discord server where you can come and join and hang out. But with that all being said, I hope to see you guys in the next one.